Here are four Premier League players that have had disappointing starts to the season, and I'm concerned about them going forward. Starting out with Ollie Watkins, the talisman of Aston Villa, a side that's generally looking for Champions League, Europa League football, and are rotting away in 19th, having scored 0 goals. He was kind of touted around for moves away for not the highest fee, and he's still only 29 and has plenty of life to give in the Premier League. Remember back a few seasons ago, he was one of the top goal scorers and the top assister. I think like 20 goals, 12 assists. He can still do that. It's just that there's something going on at Aston Villa. Because Morgan Rogers has also had relatively a howler start to this season, but you see him go off to England and put in like a man of the match performance. Fantastic England debut. So honestly, I'm just going to put that down to something going on behind the scenes. I've heard a lot of people talking about that. And also they really lack creation, but you could also point at him for that. Next up, we have another Englishman, Morgan Gibbs-White at Nottingham Forest. And he really hasn't had the kind of start to the season that you would like. The performances against the likes of West Ham, losing 3-0. He hasn't really showed up. Whenever you're Gibbs-White in Nottingham Forest, you are their main man, the number 10, the guy who almost got sold to Spurs for like 65 mil. And also with James McAtee coming in, he's not as vital as he once was. And I'm just thinking, has his head dropped after not getting that move and getting forced into signing a new contract forcefully? And then there's also Carlos Baleba, who hasn't finished a Premier League 90 minutes yet, even getting hooked at half-time against Everton. I think it's also something down to not getting his move away, or was expecting to get it and then it just fell away, because he really hasn't looked the same player that teams were willing to pay £100 million for. Now is looking a shadow of his former self. I'm sure he will turn this around eventually. It's just Brighton as a whole don't look the same as they did last season, and I'm thinking he could be a huge part because of that. It's kind of a give and take. Is Brighton bad? Is Baleba bad? Is Brighton bad because Baleba's doing poorly? Just kind of concerned.